2 and 2 together, ladies and gentlemen. As we say, welcome back. Would you want to connect what's happened in San Francisco with the virtual meeting where the Prime Minister of Pakistan was going to be present, but he does not make a mention of Kashmir itself because Pakistan's intent is peace and trade with India because they need to fill up their coffers. The cheaper goods come from India. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi sending out a stern message to both Pak and China while chairing the key virtual SCO summit today. Both China President Xi Jinping and Pak Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif were present, taking a veiled dig at China amid tension at the LAC. Prime Minister said it was important to maintain sovereignty and territorial integrity while pushing for connectivity. Again, a reference to the CPEC, China-Pak economic corridor that passes through POK. Shehbaz Sharif did speak about that. Then, making a pointed reference at Pakistan, PM said that it's important to fight cross-border terrorism together. Remember, this is the first time that India is hosting this summit. He said nations should stop using terrorism and attacking neighboring states as a matter of policy or state policy.
आतंकवाद क्षेत्रीय एवं वैश्विक शांति के लिए प्रमुख खतरा बना हुआ है। हम चुनौती से निपटने के लिए निर्णायक कार्रवाई आवश्यक है। आतंकवाद चाहे किसी भी रूप में हो, किसी भी अभिव्यक्ति में हो, हमें इसके विरुद्ध मिलकर लड़ाई करनी होगी। कुछ देश क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म को अपनी नीतियों के इंस्ट्रूमेंट के रूप में इस्तेमाल करते हैं, आतंकवादियों को पनाह देते हैं। एससीओ को ऐसे देशों की आलोचना में कोई संकोच नहीं करना चाहिए। सिक्योरिटी, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट, कनेक्टिविटी, यूनिटी, रिस्पेक्ट फॉर सॉवरेनिटी एंड टेरिटोरियल इंटीग्रिटी एंड एनवायरमेंटल प्रोटेक्शन, यह हमारी अध्यक्षता का थीम और हमारे एससीओ के विजन का प्रतिबिंब है।
Now, if that's not a strong, stern message, then what is? Anand Ranganathan stays on with us and Major Yasir Janjua, security analyst from Pakistan, with us. Anand, perhaps not more that could be said by the Prime Minister on a multilateral forum than what he has just said. And this is at a time when Shehbaz Sharif steps away from making the Kashmir mention, but actively peddles the CPEC, saying that Pakistan and this CPEC is going to connect all of this region with the rest of the Arab world and Europe.
Anand, let me at the outset qualify my remarks as coming from a layman. So we have the exalted experts on the panel already. So whatever I say would be I would say, a voice of an Indian, even if it is a fallible voice. I am not a diplomat, so let me say this first step. I believe diplomacy is the art of convincing a journalist that you're right. According to me, India should not be a member of the SCO at all. Like I've said, India should not be a member of the Commonwealth. These are all grandiose organizations that are specifically built up to establish power of the hegemonic larger powers. In the case of Commonwealth, it was the UK, and in the case of here, it is China. We should not be part of the SCO because three points here, very quick. Number one, out of all the major countries of SCO, only Russia is our friend. So I believe Russia has truly stayed with us through thick and thin. So we should ally, and we are allies of Russia. That's a close friend. Other than that, you tell me one thing we've got out of SCO. I mean, it has a terror state, for heaven's sake, as Pakistan as its member, which is ridiculous. India sharing a stage with Pakistan, a terror state that has its 1,000 cuts policy, death by 1,000 cuts, and so many other things that it wants to destroy India. Secondly, it has China that as late as 2 weeks ago refused to designate a bona fide terrorist who perpetrated the mastermind of 26/11 as a terrorist in United Nations repeatedly. Mir. So when you have nations like this in an organization, what are we doing there talking about terrorism and security and economy? Secondly, I have to also say this, that for some odd reason, while we flex our muscles against Pakistan, rightly so, and I congratulate our government for doing so, post-Pulwama especially, I don't know why we shift away from what we should be doing against China. That, if you remember, in the aftermath of Galwan, we should have done the same with China as we did with Pakistan. But on the other hand, what we've done is exactly the opposite. The trade with China is the highest ever. Our trade imbalance is now more than $1 billion. Is this what you do with an enemy country?
Well, there are certain aspects which we'll have to go into greater detail, and there is a reason why politics and geopolitics and trade is being separated very clearly, and there is a delineation that's happening even within the current Modi government. A lot of people disagree with it, but there is a necessity why that is happening. But in terms of the policy and the approach of Shehbaz Sharif and the SCO, there is a counter point of view that says that India must remain at the SCO so that the hegemonistic intentions of China are continued to be curtailed, and that India continues to be a thorn in the flesh and continues to watch out for these nations and continues to ensure that this nefarious agenda or expansionist agenda of China is pegged. But with respect to Pakistan, are you surprised with the tone adopted by Shehbaz Sharif? Or do you believe that Pakistan truly now is going to take a far more conciliatory approach in terms of vis-a-vis its equations with India? Major Janjua.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. With all due fairness, your panelist, when he says India should not be part of SCO, that's his opinion. I think no country today in the world should be excluded or should have exclusionist designs. So part of the Committee of Nations, being part of the Committee of Nations is what is required to solve the disputes. If you don't become part of any organization, you cannot voice, as you have rightly said, that India should be there. I find no reason for India to walk out of it. However, what you're just saying, I was also reading, and I actually looked at that statement with a lot of pleasure and praise for the Prime Minister of India when he says that Afghanistan's soil should not be allowed to be used for terrorism in its neighborhood. Now, the state sponsorship of terrorism, that's a definition that you as Indians are using. Whereas we can conveniently tell you that, excuse me, when you went to The Hague in defense of the naval commander, Hussain Mubarak Patel, you defended him that he is an Indian national and a commander from the Indian Navy and he should be let go. Whereas we have evidence that the whole world knows that he was involved in terrorism in Pakistan, and that means that he was a serving commander of the Navy, so the state was sponsoring him. We can go on. I mean, I can give these blames and you can have the counter blames. What we are trying to do here is the blame game should stop. We should all come on the table and discuss how can we root out terrorism. Pakistan, for example, is the biggest victim of terrorism. So the victim of terrorism cannot be the supporter of terrorism. We have people infiltrating into
Major Janjua, you know, I'm sorry, I was trying to be very patient just because you are a guest on my show, and I was trying to be very patient listening to you. But sir,
okay.
but my point is, can you yourself believe your argument? Can you yourself believe the sound of your argument, sir?
Okay. Listen,
sir, आप पाकिस्तानी फौजी नहीं, I'm just saying आप पाकिस्तानी फौजी है, आप former फौजी है, आप पाकिस्तानी या former फौजी है. Even when you say this, the conviction is lacking because you cannot believe your own bluff. With due respect, sir, you can't believe your own bluff. आप 300 से ज़्यादा जिहादी तंजीमें आपके are there on foreign soil. The calls to orchestrate 26/11 and the attacks at Taj. Sajid Mir was sitting in a Pakistani in Karachi and he was initiating those instructions. David Coleman Headley's testimony is there in the US of A, and all of it, Tahawur Rana's confessions are there. Everything is there. Hafiz Saeed, proscribed terrorist, is on Pakistani soil. Dawood Ibrahim, wanted terrorist, is on Pakistani soil. Rauf Asghar, wanted terrorist, is on Pakistani soil. And you are telling me, Osama bin Laden was also on Pakistani soil. And you are telling me, you're telling me that Pakistan is the victim of terrorism. Sir,
don't you agree? No. Don't you agree with this, that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism? 80,000 people have lost their lives Is it something that you can
सर
deny?
अपने घर में बारूद की फैक्ट्री लगाओगे कहीं ना कहीं
बिल्कुल।
चिंगारी
नहीं,
लगेगी,
नहीं,
फटेगा। आनंद रंगनाथन,
बारूद की फैक्ट्री की बात नहीं है।
अरे
Anand,
सर,
say
अरे
yes
सर,
or no?
आपके पास फौजी कम ज्यादा थे एक टाइम में। That was a reality in Pakistan. Sorry sir, but I had to say this. Yes.
Major, if I may please, I didn't interrupt you, sir.
Sure.
Sir, I didn't interrupt
Please,
you. Yeah,
please.
thank you. You know,
Please.
Anand, thank you. Anand, I have let me confess, I have absolutely nothing against the Pakistani major. He is parroting is a very strong word, but he is reiterating a line which I would say every Pakistani should, because terrorism is Pakistan's state policy. So yes, the major is supporting Pakistan. Good luck to him. But I have one question. When he says, if you have a problem with terrorism and security and everything, come to the table. Come everyone. So I have one question. Do you think America should have invited Osama bin Laden to the table? Yes or no?
Listen, can I answer now? If you're finished. We are not talking about inviting Osama bin Laden's or Hafiz Saeed's or Hussein Mubarak Patels to the table. We're talking about the countries. Now, you
are enabling.
We can have an
Osama bin Laden
argument.
was found there.
Osama bin Laden, we were the ones who actually identified him to the Americans.
Oh my
you can
God.
deny that? Can you deny
Major
that?
Saab,
No, you are accepting it now. Your successive presidents, President Zardari was in total denial, saying we had no clue. We had no clue. And you as a Fauji are contradicting your own former president.
Listen.
Yeah, Major, see, this is exactly the reason why I said I called out your bluff, sir, and I said you can't believe your own bluff. You can't believe your own bluff. Here is the reason, sir. Here is the reason. For you, what you think is a proxy war, and you are making soldiers who are not in uniform, because the ghost of 71 still haunts you. You know that every time your people in uniform have tried to cross the border, they have gone back without their pants. So that's a reality. Chudiya pehen kar gaye hain. So you are sending people, you know, so you are sending people as you believe are soldiers, so you don't call them terrorists. My simple point is, sir, CPEC is on occupied territory. It's sovereign territory of India where you are trying to set it, and then you are claiming you're tom-tomming, talking about it. How can, when you don't respect another nation's sovereignty, can you talk peace? Yes, Anand Ranganathan.
You know, today is the day, so many years ago in 1999, I think, when India retook Tiger Hill in Kargil. And you know what Pakistan did? It refused to take back dead bodies of its soldiers. Major, at least, please express some shame to what you did.
See here,
please, Major.
Yes, sir. Here is the thing, Major Janju. Let's try and come back to the rabble rousing, come back from the rabble rousing, and let's move forward. I'm asking you, there is such a huge trust deficit. Till Pakistan walks the talk. I know Nawaz Sharif wanted trade. That's why the UFA Pact was signed. But Nawaz Sharif himself was ousted because of the UFA Pact that was signed. Are you saying Pakistan will go back to the UFA Pact?
Listen, Pakistan is willing to discuss anything and everything as long as you are willing to discuss terrorism that India is sponsoring in Pakistan.
Like I said, sir.
Listen.
Like I said, sir, I said 2015 UFA Pact
You are
was
saying,
signed.
wow.
Are you willing to go back to UFA Pact, sir? Is Pakistan willing to bring back the UFA Pact on the table?
What were those 9 consulates doing in Afghanistan?
I do agree.
Across the
I
border
do
from
agree
Pakistan?
with the Major.
Give me the answer to this. What were those 9 Indian consulates doing in Afghanistan?
I do concede and I do agree with the Major that there are Indian terrorists in Pakistan right now. Their name is Dawood Ibrahim.
You can name them anything. One of them is in the custody.
No, Rinda is there. There are others also. There are Rinda, there is Landa, there are so many others. They're all sitting there in Lahore, in that entire area, about 5 blocks away from Hafiz Saeed. That's where they are all saying, and their addresses are also there. Sir, but
there are irrefutable evidences.
No, sir. I'll tell you what. You can make all sorts of claims, sir. You can make all sorts of claims, sir. But the hard proof runs the fact.
You keep talking about 71. If you allow me to put one question to you. Keep talking about 71.
We can talk about 65.
Would you deny? Yes, let's talk about 65, but first 71. Would you deny that you sent your 150,000 people against
all
international laws
we were 32
into the territory of another
We were
country?
32
Can you deny
kilometers.
that?
we were 32 kilometers from Lahore. Had we not pulled back, the Nankana Sahib and Kartarpur Sahib would have been on here, and this entire issue that you have fomented of Khalistan would not have happened. But let's not, like I said, I am asking you, sir, does Pakistan is wanting... No, sir, no, but Major Janjua, I am just saying Pakistan today is standing with a begging bowl. If those $3 billion from IMF loans don't come, you have no way to secure yourself. You will be a Diwaliya country.
Absolutely.
Up for sale for
with you.
So is that the only reason that you want to talk peace with India?
I agree with you. We are there with a begging bowl. There is no denying the fact.
Is that the only reason you want to talk peace with India?
No. Let's talk about this. Okay. First and foremost, if there has been some wrongdoing at the behest of the government, which has been there for the last 14 months, I'm not going to sit here and defend them. The question here is, you tell me, why would you be worried about a country which is going out with a begging bowl, which doesn't have $5 billion in its coffers, and you with $600 billion?
You're a tinderbox, sir.
Why are you worried about Pakistan? Why are you scared about us?
You attacked Mumbai.
We attacked
why we are worried. You will do it again and again.
Let's be honest. We attacked you. Abhinandan with the aircraft entered Pakistani territory only recently in 2019. We did not attack you.
Sir, no. Sir, I'll tell you what.
And we took him down. We took your aircraft down.
I'll tell you what, sir. The fact is, you are so scared that we will attack you that you handed him back in one piece. And thank God you did that. A lot of people also believe that you should not, had you not done that, then this whole facade itself would not have done, because a lot of the POK, a lot of sovereign territory would have been reclaimed. But anyway, sir, I have to wind up. But clearly the intent here is, let's make money out of India, because that's the only way we can survive. There's no other intent, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget that at all. Winding up the right stand on that note, brass tacks with Zaka right now.